This is probably one of the more requested brands to have featured on the channel, to do an unboxing of and just give my thoughts about them in relation to all the other brands and all the other shoes that I've had over the years, and I guess more relevantly on the channel. So really excited to finally get a pair. I'll get into a little bit of the context around the order, and we should just jump right into the unboxing, and I'm going to also shine these up. So let's get started. This is obviously from TLB Mallorca, as the box has shown. Their Artista line, which is what this pair is some of the most well-regarded finishing. And I'm talking about it while we have the box still closed. Let me get into the unboxing and we'll take a closer look. This is the first pair that I've had from TLB. Definitely the first pair of the Artista line. Let's take a look at the shoe bags real quick, just to kind of round out that normal unboxing experience. Here we go. So there's two very well-sized shoe bags. That's a very important note or kind of observation that I've made recently from a few different like factory just brands, is that like when you're actually trying to take the shoe out of the bag, this is very easy to remove. Some bags are just very, very like small. It's probably like this. And then like, yeah, it fits, but it's just like a hassle to get in and out of the shoe bag, which I don't really use the shoe bags that much unless I'm traveling. So we'll move those shoe bags over there. And let's take a look at the shoes here. This is TLB Mallorca's Artista line. This is model 210 on the Goodyear in black box calf. It's a very smart almond round toe here, as you can see. And I believe this is German Weinheimer Tannery. Probably mispronounced that, but I think everybody knows who I'm talking about. And I'll put it right here on the bottom third of the screen. So this was actually gifted to me from a business partner, which is pretty cool. Main details here that I would call out is if we look at the medallion first and we start with the toe shape, this is a very elegant almond round toe. And I think this kind of pairs perfectly with this style shoe because, yeah, it's just, everything about this is classic. A very classic black cap toe Oxford. Moving around to the kind of execution of the actual pattern here. Again, it looks, just very well graded for the actual last and the sizing of the shoe. Perfectly balanced. If I actually hold the shoe out here and I'm looking at it, it looks very well proportioned from the size of the cap toe, the size of the vamp, heel counters. Now, as I'm handling the shoe without shoe trees, one thing that I have noticed, which is great, is right here. There's not really any flex right there. A little give, but I believe that's probably a result of the extended leather heel stiffener that goes all the way through right there to provide the arch support. And that's a great sign for me because that's really one of the key things when it comes to whether or not this shoe is going to be supportive, whether or not I'm going to be able to wear the shoe throughout the day, is that extended heel countering and the support throughout the arch really makes a huge difference and is kind of like a requirement for me at this point. Kind of rounding out, let's just flip this over to the bottom work. We'll take a look at the left shoe here for the bottom. And yeah, so one thing I actually was very pleasantly surprised by is that these had toe plates. My colleague that had purchased these, he had asked like what size and if I had a preference of like what pattern and stuff, but I didn't say anything about toe plates. So I think that's definitely pretty cool that those are on here because I would definitely have wanted to get them added on a leather sole. So very curious about how that came to be, but again, very, very pleasant surprise there. The actual overall finishing, like it's very, it's beautiful. This is an incredibly narrow waist. See if I can try and show off just how narrow of a waist that is. One thing that I figured let's just like knock out, because I know this question is going to come up, is how does it compare with others? So I'm just going to throw Crockett and Jones out there. That's one of the closest shoes, and you can see it's not really comparable. The bottom work on here is, yep, not really comparable to what Crockett and Jones offers, but not saying that one is superior to the other, just saying when you look at the bottom, there's a clear winner as to the level of finishing and detail. One other shoe, obviously this has much more wear on it than a brand new shoe, but I think we can still all maintain, you know, an unbiased view here based on the wear. So this is Carmina. Now, it doesn't really matter what the upper is, but let's just focus again on the bottom mark and kind of maintain some objective perspective here. So this is Carmina's bottom mark, and this is their Inca last, which is one of the last that's really receiving like the highest level of finishing from Carmina's perspective of a narrower waist, a narrower heel, all those finer details. When we compare that again to the bottom work and the finishing from TLB on their Artista line, again, not really much to compare. I think you can obviously see what that difference is, and it's kind of hard to appreciate just how different the size of the waist is and how much more beveled the one is than the other from the bottom. But once you actually have them in your hand, it's a much noticeable difference. All right, as you would expect, we're going to use Pure Polish products here. Now, this is probably the first time that I've like featured or that I've used the black paste. I just haven't had a pair of black shoes in a while, but I am really enjoying these so far, and I will have a few others. Now, this is a really fresh tin of black paste, which it smells delicious. Again, let's get started. I'm going to throw on a little bit of the high shine paste. For the price point of the shoe, if I'm not mistaken, like around $370, 370 like US dollars. It may kind of hit that, you know, best value in that range just from an aesthetic, taking into account the quality of the finishing. So yeah, nothing crazy, nothing too over the top, just kind of beautiful bottom work. Overall, like just really impressed with these. Very appreciative to my good friend for gifting these to me, which was incredibly generous. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want to see some other recent unboxings like Joe Works or Acme, check out the video up here. Otherwise, I'll include some more shell cordovan tools and resource guides over here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.